Saudi Arabia opens up that market for data center investment. You and I talked about before, Saudi Arabia wants to build 60 data centers. They've got ample energy to power those data centers. NVIDIA and semiconductors are natural beneficiary of all of that. Is there another angle to the story besides
For NVIDIA, it's a great place to sell stuff. And I love that Jensen went there and got the multi-million GPU deal and so on. We're talking about barely 10, 15 million people as a whole. They're not going to be consuming huge amounts of AI. So the point is, once you build however ungodly number of data centers you build there, the biggest problem for any companies that are building this stuff is how do you get the transmission from those data centers to markets where hundreds of millions of people that can use the training and inference capacity of those data centers. For that, Ram, we need massive amounts of next generation cable connections, undersea and terrestrial. That doesn't exist. And no one's talking about that. So what I'm trying to just say is that the Middle East projects, they are showcase political projects. It makes the kingdoms feel good that they can show their people that they're basically controlling, that we're investing for the next generation. In reality, they're not. Most of the projects are going to have showcase public-private healthcare, that kind of use. They will be mostly underused. The smart companies, the Microsofts, OpenAIs are going to basically have very specific things. They will make sure that they have the super multi-hundred terabyte cable that connects to markets like India or any of the major places where there are hundreds of millions of users, which is where they're going to see actual use of this data center. Because what we need is massive amounts of inference use. Jensen on the call yesterday said, look, we're already shifting from 90% or more usage of these data centers for training to 60, 70, 80% or more of inference. When we go from chatbots to reasoning, your compute intensity goes up 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times. Right. But to do that, you need very low latency, which means from the data center to wherever your markets are, you need to have super low latency, fast speed connections. And that doesn't exist yet.
The goal then of the data centers in Saudi Arabia, is it to provide AI services to that market and adjacent countries? And is it a hub for hyperscalers?
No, the goal of the data centers right now is because those guys are going to pay cash, hundreds of billions of dollars. So the goal right now is to sell the chips there. Then whether they get used is their problem because they own it. Okay. And if Microsoft is help running it, it's like a management company of a hotel. Then you got to go get the customers. Then the next stage is, okay, now let's go find the customers for the data center.
Right. Hyperscalers need energy and Middle East has energy. So
on paper, yes, but the energy is only useful if you use this stuff. If once I've built it and if it's got, let's say 100 units of capacity, only 2% is getting used, I don't need the energy to burn that. Energy only comes in and then I've got billions of people using the data centers from a chip point of view and my energy need goes up. Yes. And then I can use the energy. You're totally right. The Middle East right now, they have the money and they have the energy to theoretically supply huge amounts of utility.